analyst desk where we see Fnatic. Oh, the trophies have to go down because they might, I guess, the floor could move and they could fall on the floor. And I see that Hilly's trying to jump as hard as possible. I like it. They're trying to keep themselves awake. They're trying to go through the motion so that they have the energy. Because earlier, of course, we saw Fnatic and Excel face off in Game 4. However, the game was remade due to a bug and issues with the Chrono Break tool, an administrative disable with Samira and Guardian Angel. So the combination is now in place. This remake will now be played with new picks and bans, and we're going to dive in. And listen, I know this is not a situation any of us want to be in, especially not the players, and I hope we could keep you entertained, but we're going to get the energy up for this segment because it was a great game to watch, and I truly, truly hope that we can see some of the same in that one. I'm going to pull the picks and bans up for the game that was eventually remade. We can assume that, of course, it's not going to be the same, but what we can think about is the thinking behind the picks and maybe what we can see.
Yeah, and I think let's direct our attention over to Excel's comp first because this is very classic, tried and true Excel. Tons of scaling options. I mean, you look in every single position and you've got late game completely out of control, right? And the zone control, the team fighting capabilities of this composition is absolutely stellar, and that's how I think Excel were able to hold on for a very long time, is that they want to play the scaling team fight game. Whereas Fnatic also had a lot of scaling options themselves, but I feel like the key difference between these two comps is that Excel is all about kiting back zone control in fights, whereas Fnatic, there's a lot more onus on them to start off the fights with the engage of a Set and an Alistar.
And we think that that's going to be the theory that they're also going to follow in through this remake and the picks and bans, because it does reflect the trends of both the teams coming into this game in the first place.
Honestly, so I think Excel, definitely we're going to see that. Fnatic, I'm not so sure. I think that, like, if you look at how this game played out, I would not be surprised to see Bwipo in particular on a different champion, on a champion that has a little bit more individual agency, because the Set, it's a good matchup in the Gangplank, don't get me wrong, it does some good things in the team fight as well, but Bwipo, for the year he's having, he wants to have more power in his hands going into another draft than just getting through the laning phase and then being the giant meatball that sprints at Excel the whole time.
Yeah, all things considered, this was an incredibly close game as it was played out. We're hoping it will be the same. Excel definitely surprised me in the way that they played it out. What are your predictions for the remake?
Honestly, I think Fnatic are going to have a bit of a chip on their shoulder. I think we're going to see some more aggression in the top lane in particular, and I would not be surprised to see them gear their composition to take over and attack Excel in the lane.
All right, I hear that the players are ready, so let's see what happens as Excel and Fnatic close out the first round robin. Finally.
Thank you very much, Sjokz. I think you're channeling some energy that we can all get behind. It's been a very long day, but that said, I'm excited for one final game of League of Legends. Obviously, for both teams, the most that I think you can hope for as a viewer is that both teams come in prepared, they come in a good headspace, and they come in and they're ready to show good games on both sides. Regardless of the result, I just want to see great League of Legends.
Yeah, they had an hour break roughly. That G2 game was quite long, so a lot of time to talk about draft, talk about strategy. The Battle of the Brits is on for round 2.
Oh, I like that.
Now, Fnatic almost won this one. Last one. Are they going to win this one?
Let's find out. Picks and bans.
Ooh. Groovy.
And I was wondering what Game 6 pick and ban music would be, and this is it.
Could have been Silver Scrapes. That would have been lit.
I don't know if people would have appreciated that joke at this point today. Rel, Thresh, Udyr going to be banned away. Olaf going to follow. See what it compares to previous. Pretty much on point for exactly what was banned previously. I think TF was the final ban. This time it's Azir for the side of Excel.
Did Excel first pick Azir last time? They did, right?
So they did,
they're banning away their own champion, which is interesting. I think Kai'Sa's up for the side of Excel. Let's see what they opt into. Fresh ban means Aphidos is out, and Senatam is something we haven't seen today, I believe.
True, we've only seen, one game of it overall.
Yeah, but it was very strong, especially here with Reckless shooting people across offices in Berlin with his Senna because the amount of range he had. But have to see if Fnatic want to adapt or Excel want to adapt to those kind of picks. But TF being banned away, majority of the OPs are taken out. What are we looking at here? We're looking at a first pick Orianna, which is super, super interesting from the side of Excel. Do Fnatic want to run the Seraphine again?
Yeah, or the Kai'Sa Rel.
Rel's down, so I expect
Oh,
Kai'Sa
God.
Alistar.
Oh, my God. Thank you. Caedrel, the fact that you have eyes is really your best trait, if I'm completely honest.
You like my eyes, huh?
They're very good. All right, Rel banned away. Kai'Sa is an option. The question is, what are you going to give up in exchange for it? Obviously, priority pick of the jungler goes over to Fnatic 2.
Could be an Alistar again, like we saw on the first game. Hylissang's phase rush Alistar. He did make a mistake in lane in the early game. Did give Patrik the first blood. Now does Upset want to pick up the Kai'Sa? Kai'Sa Alistar, super strong lane. What can Excel answer with if they do go for something like that? I'm thinking Senna. I'm thinking Xayah. I'm thinking perhaps something like BMF, perhaps. Pull aside of Patrik Jhin as well. We've seen a lot today. So Hylissang picking up his Alistar again.
And important to note the global disable on Samira with GA. So some of the options that were present for Fnatic last time around are just not there in this game. That said, Seraphine has now been locked in. So far we're getting a very similar draft. Yes, the control mage has shifted up, but Czekolad still with some good scaling in his hands.
Now, do Excel want to go Graves again, or do they want to pick up the Gragas Kai'Sa, which I think Gragas Kai'Sa into the Alistar would be really good. You've got the Gragas support into the Alistar, can also flex the top for the side of Kryze, or do they want to run it back, pick up the Graves, and then try to get a good jungler for Dan, which has been the consistent factor, I think, when he's on the Graves. Champions like the Olaf as well. I think the Udyr wasn't so hot, but those are the two best champs he's performing on as of yet. But the Kai'Sa is one piece of the puzzle. So they want to go for something like the Gragas, because I think Fnatic might want to look at the Samira.
Well, also double support bans coming out already. Happy with the Gragas, it would seem. And in this draft, it is a flex pick, so there is some room for Dan to take it if he wants to, but Tori's been having a good performance on it. And honestly, from what we've seen just across the board, I think Gragas should be rising up the tier list in the weeks to come.
For sure. It's almost like a triple flex, right? Dan can play it, Kryze can play it, Tori can play it. So the Samira picked up again for Fnatic. Similar draft to last time, barring a few champions, and I think that this draft from Excel so far is looking really hot. Super strong picks so far into picks that Fnatic have thrown at them. You know, you've got the Orianna, Kai'Sa, Gragas, super strong combo against things like the Samira and the Alistar in lane. So top lane bans coming out. I think both teams are focusing on top jungle now. I think that Gragas will go towards the bot lane. So what does Kryze want to pick up? What does Bwipo want to pick up? Because I know Bwipo's champion pool is a lot deeper than Kryze's, I think, from what we've seen over the last couple of years, especially Bwipo, Singed, Rengar, Urgot, all these things. Ribbon.
And really, at this stage of the game, they are set up to give Bwipo the luxury of last picks, so the value of flex picks, at least on the blue side, is slightly diminished in this context, as the Camille is now taken away.
Camille, GP suggests to me Aatrox for the side of Bwipo. Those two bans make sense if you want to pick something like the Aatrox blind, perhaps, and looked for a counter-pick jungle, which wouldn't surprise me for something for Fnatic to do. So I think XL banning away Aatrox here could help them a lot, or banning away perhaps some other frontline bruisers. I mean, the only real one open is the Aatrox, I think, Drakos, but they're going to go for a Malphite ban, which is Bwipo's favorite, especially with the emojis.
Yeah, in general, he really loves playing against immobile champions. I don't know if I would have immediately blind picked it here, but I guess limiting some of the options against the relatively immobile Orianna.
Yeah, have to see what Fnatic want to do. They don't want to pick jungle, something like the Lillia perhaps, which we've seen before. It's going to come in with the Seraphine. Now, I think Aatrox is quite high prior with this amount of top lane bans. I mean, there's essentially 4 top lane bans right now, and Kryze has the blind pick. So, does he want to blind pick a tank? I think you have a lot of damage already. Does Dan want to go for something like the Jarvan, which I think fits in super well into their comp into the immobile carries of Fnatic? But the champion pools of top jungle are kind of narrowed down in a sense, unless the Graves is open for Dan. Could run that back.
Yeah, of course, we've got 2 jungle bans, 4 top lane bans at this point in the draft, so there are limited options. The Hecarim coming in, though, big scaling. Of course, if you missed the first version of this game, the big thing that we talked about was the clash of style between the two teams. Excel play scaling. Well, this is slightly different and is most certainly a bit of a call-out here. All right, Kryze picking up the Jax into Bwipo. Keep in mind, Kryze has been doing better this split, but Bwipo literally destroyed a man yesterday.
Yeah, Bwipo won't have an issue finding accounts for this. I think his champion pool is very deep. The Jax blind pick surprises me because Jax not that good in the meta right now, because you either go full 1-3-1 or you go for dragon fights, which Jax will struggle with in the early stages of the game. The Volibear coming in for Bwipo, which, I mean, against G2, he completely popped off, so definitely a good track record when it comes to the Volibear. So 2 very interesting team comps, lots of team fighting and lots of zone control and fights. I think that's pretty much an even draft. I would say slightly favoring XL just because of the amount of AoE wombo combos they can set up if Upset or Nisqy are lacking the flash summer spell, whereas Fnatic don't have that much hard engage other than Bwipo and Hylissang diving in as they love to do.
Yeah, and of course, slightly different draft on the side of Fnatic, only the Volibear really being swapped out here, whereas it's almost completely different from the side of Excel, so we'll have to see how well this works for them on the top side of the map as we get ready to get into game here, because Excel certainly do have some scaling components still to bring to the table, but they've also got now a very strong side laner in the form of Jax.
Yeah, both teams have very good scaling. I think that the amount of damage coming out of Fnatic, there's lots of AP, which worries me, so Upset needs to get ahead, but I think the drafts are very similar, lots of team fight, lots of scaling, and Excel pulling out the Jacks, that's a statement.
It's time, finally, for the final game of the week. Excel versus Fnatic. Let's get it poppin'.
Game 6.
Let's
get it.
We're on to the Rift. See, there's going to be crazy level 1s. It does not look like it. We'll see which junglers are going to get a leash. If either of them do, we'll keep an eye on the pathing. Caedrel, let's just do it now. No one's killing each other. Again, reminder, if you missed this game previously, 2 very different teams. Excel, very slow, very controlled in the early game, much longer game. 6 minutes, a massive, massive difference. Fnatic on the other side, bloody, bloody, bloody. They fight, they die, they kill, they fight, they die. Again, it's like an episode of Spartacus watching a Fnatic game. There's just blood everywhere.
Blood and glory.
Blood and sometimes less glory, but mostly, yeah, recently glory. 5-3 as far as glory goes.
Whereas Excel, like we said before, they're like the Venusaur. They're charging up the solar beam. They're ready to fire it in the later stages of the game. We'll have to see if Fnatic can cancel that.
Yeah, and the flare bit's on the opposite side for Fnatic. They're always hitting hard, but sometimes it blows back. Sometimes they get a little bit of that recoil.
Sometimes they hit too hard and it hurts themselves, you know? Whacking a really hard punch,
Yeah.
their fist might start to hurt.
You ever
So
punched
Fnatic-
a wall really hard? You know what I mean? Like, your hand doesn't beat wall.
No, I haven't done that actually.
Yeah, well,
Does the wall win?
the wall wins.
Oh, okay.
Almost every time.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. But anyway, Nisqy running the Guardian again, didn't choose something like the area or the phase rush, so he's definitely playing the supportive tool. The Lillia we've seen throughout the whole day. Whoa, Hylissang!
Oh, Hylissang is feeling it. Okay, Patrik flashing out to safety. Upset now flashing as well. Fnatic are not interested in keeping this game going. They are ready for bed, and they want to send Excel there too. My God, that is 1 minute 54 first blood.
Is that a record? Is that a record in the laning phase? Upset and Hylissang getting the 2v2 kill already onto Patrik. They just flash in. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, you're right. Fnatic want to get out of this game, get the dub and get out. They're just flashing in, and just a good observation from Hylissang. I think the double knockup was crucial, and they're going to try and crash this wave. And I want to see that again. What spell did Torre have here? Did he have Q to not actually negate this? So Hylissang, he uses the E to engage it, so Hylissang recognizes that Torre can't peel away Upset when he dashes in. If Torre had the E here, he would stop Upset from being able to flash, and then Patrik would live and it would be a trade. But because Torre used his E so aggressively, Hylissang just turned the fight, and that's an instant first blood for the side of Upset, which is not what you want to do against this somewhat full AP combo Fnatic, barring this Samira.
Okay, this is apparently the second fastest first blood. It was 1 second slower. Okay, the fastest first blood. So not quite Fnatic, a little faster next time. But now this is going to change the game a lot. And important to note in that clip, one of the reasons that Samira can be so oppressive in these landing phases, as we get a quick look at top lane, is her passive gives her a lot of movement speed as she stacks style ranks. So if you start to fall behind against an otherwise short-range AD carry, she will run you down as
Hylissang has no fear. He was testing Torre there to see if Torre would cancel his combo. Hex splashes into him, pops the combo, Torre doesn't react in time. So that was just a small mental thing there from Hylissang. Maybe an emote that could have been the sealed deal, but lots of trading in top. Kryze getting the advantage here. And I think,
ooh, Bwipo.
Whoa.
And this is what's really big, is that Kryze did not wait for the W sack to fall off before he went in, but he's going to still keep trying to extend his trade. Shield comes down. Kryze has to flash out.
Yep, if Bwipo got the E on him there, he could have hit the Q and the W, and I think Kryze would have died because Bwipo could flash after him. So Bwipo going to base here. He has the TP, and I think Kryze will probably do the same thing. So lots of trading here, but definitely advantage for Bwipo just because of that flash difference.
Well, and I think when you look at Bwipo, he's a guy that actually just kind of demands respect in the laning phase, similar to what Hylissang is doing bot lane, but I would say just recently more successfully, and that he has 11 solo kills, first in the league.
11 solo kills. We're talking about mid-split MVPs. Dude, I'm nominating Bwipo. How can you have 520 damage per minute as a top laner? That's some AD carry mid to late game stats right there. So Bwipo definitely showing up, and not only is it the stats, but the gameplay. Like, look at that Volibear game against G2, the Riven game yesterday. I don't know.
Yeah.
This man, he can do it all.
And Volibear is a pick where you have to be confident. His trading is ludicrously powerful, but you have to be willing to extend a trade so long to get full value out of the kit. So you need to know how strong you are at any given moment.
Yeah, let's do a quick check on how the game's progressing. I think both junglers have kind of done the same clear here. They each got a crab, both on the full clear. Selfmade slightly faster, as you can see. He's level 5, does have a 1-camp lead, but Dan is doing the wolves right now. He's sitting behind Bwipo here in case there's a gank here, because Bwipo has absolutely no vision on his top side, barring the scuttle crab, so Dan could run up through the blue entrance to look for a gank. So just some small cover there. Selfmade needs to base anyway, so he's in a base, go to his bot side respawn, as Hylissang really wants to get the fights going, and he can definitely do that when Selfmade makes his way down here.
The thing is, double dagger itemization has come through now for, not double dagger, double longsword, excuse me, has come through for both sides, but that's a 2-man headbutt pulverize. That's certainly a good way to get things started. Upset going to be blocking a few projectiles, gets the S-style rank, and that's it. Upset now moving through. Conqueror already procced. Hecarim's on the way down, but it might be too little too late. Hey, Torre, I think you might be donezo. The flash to ferry him to safety, but Dan going in anyway. The headbutt coming through. Dan, though, you do not want this fight. Upset now committing. Upset now doing a little bit more damage as Nisqy makes his way down. Dan just barely going down, but Nisqy going to grab the kill.
Yeah, I wonder if that's frustration from Dan, because he wants to get something back for Excel, because if they let Upset get away with those 2 kills, they're in a dire situation. This Samira is so strong. 2 kills already. You can see he's up 1,000 gold at 5 minutes in, gets a plate. Now it's a 1,100. Nisqy TP's down. Yes, Czekolad will get 1-wave advantage, but Fnatic get 2 kills onto Upset. They get the Drake. This game is looking hot for them.
It most certainly is. And a reminder, the previous game was a bit slower, a bit more chaotic. Fnatic were winning some fights, but Excel were trading back evenly. We were in a very dire late game state when we went away into the pause. This is explosive immediately off the bat. Absolute dominance there from the bottom lane. And we look back on this, and this is so clean from Hylissang and Upset, honestly.
Yeah, Torres E didn't actually cancel the knockback from Hylissang, the knock-up, sorry, so Patrik does get comboed down, and Upset has a fully stacked Conqueror. He's in Torres' face, and Dan comes in. I think Dan probably does win this 1v2 because he does have the level 5 spike. He is very, very strong in this Hecarim with Conqueror, but the TP from Nisqy is crucial. It means Dan has to run away, and I thought Dan might live here because Nisqy agrees to get the flash onto Torre, but in the end, the spells do land to Dan as well, and he does get taken down. So 3 kills for the side of Fnatic. Already 6 minutes, 30 seconds into the game. The only thing that Excel have going from here is a CS lead in top, which Kryze has accumulated for himself, although he had to flash away on the level 3 trade. Looks like he's been winning this top matchup.
And you can see in those extended trades, Bwipo was not able to CS a lot. That's part of the reason why the CS difference is growing as big as it is. We'll see what Kryze can do with it, because there is a certain amount of pressure on him to perform as someone with a small individual advantage in his lane. Czekolad as well, maybe hoping to find a bit more. Selfmade level 6 has to be respected as the sleep can't come in any moment. But the bot lane of Excel, they're going to be out of the game for a while, honestly. Even with Patrik keeping up in CS, he's just so far behind in gold.
Yeah, definitely. This Kai'Sa has fallen down behind in gold. Upset building towards like the shield bow here. Very, very strong on the Samira. Does provide the right amount of stats. So Fnatic looking comfortable in this early game. 1,000 gold lead, and I mean, it's somewhat to be expected on paper, although it's lots of mistakes in laning phases there from the side of Excel. But Fnatic actually getting ahead. And Excel, it's their comfort zone, you know. If Alistar gets 15 minutes and they're 2k gold down, that's their comfort zone. A Selfmade doesn't spot out the pink. I think that's Czekolad's pink. I think he used his mid lane prior when Nisqy went towards the Drake to get some topside vision. So good play from him there. He's slightly ahead in mid, but Hylissang doesn't stop going in.
Another headbutt pulverize the setup for Upset now. The follow-up stunned as well coming in. Torre now going to be in trouble. Level 5 blocking any follow-up projectiles. This is Hylissang solo queue. This man is just dismantling an entire bot lane.
This looks like playoffs level. Fnatic not making any mistakes. Crucial laning phases popping off all across the map. And it just looks like, yeah, this bot matchup's just so skewed to Fnatic now. Hylissang can engage whenever he wants. And if you look at the first time these teams played against each other early in the day, Hylissang was the one getting caught out in the 2v2, but he's had enough now. He's gone Super Saiyan in this lane phase. There's been 3 kills in this lane, which are pure 2v2.
It's crazy.
Mind-blowing to me as Selfmade.
Kryze now, oh, the immediate flash in, absolute confidence again. Fnatic now going to step forward, that's going to be the W. Bwipo, does he still have the Q available? Kryze taking a little bit of damage, the ult giving him a ton of resistance here. The leap in, the finish off there.
So
Fnatic
unlucky
are going
for
to walk
Kryze.
away.
His flash is coming up in literally 2 seconds. He almost had it up to escape that gank, so good timing from Fnatic. They punished that, and Nisqy was on his way up as well, just in case anything did happen with jungle being there or any kind of 2v2, and he does lose a plate for it, but just covering his weaknesses on the map. And Excel, you can see them instantly going for the cross map. Can we get some bot side vision? Can we deny the blue buff away from Nisqy, who is out of mana? And can we stop Upset getting this bot wave, because Hylissang over-rotated, who might get caught out here if he does face check the push. He also uses a sweeper.
Level 6 though for Upset.
They should
maybe get his stacks up.
Here.
Level 7 coming for Dan. Hylissang going to do what he can to disrupt the play. Locking up Torre, getting some good damage down, punting him back into the tower. Upset needs the style rank, and he can't get it. Instant shutdown. Hylissang a little bit in trouble. Seraphine on the way in. Torre is going to be okay for now. The follow-up stun for Czekolad's good, but it doesn't lock him into tower range. Honestly, great response coming in from the side of Excel. Massive shutdown.
Slight misplay from Fnatic. I think Hylissang knocked Torre into Upset so he could get the knock-up into the stun so Dan could follow up and just take out Upset. Upset at both sums. I think he had his dash as well, but Fnatic can answer with this Herald where Bwipo moved down to help out, but very confusing play there. I think that dive should not have gone the way it did for the side of Excel.
And really the first hiccup that we've seen from Fnatic this entire game, a bit of a misplay there. And it really shifts gold back very quickly. We're now only at a 1,000 gold difference despite the 4-kill advantage from the side of Fnatic. Now some of that is going to be the CS difference that you see in the top lane, but some of that is just the fact that that's a shutdown. Shutdown's very big.
But look at that gold on the AD carry. Still 1,200 gold up on the side of Upset, and I think the crucial thing for Fnatic's team comp is the Samira. If the Samira is ahead, Bwipo can be a body block, Selfmade and Nisqy can support him, and Hylissang also can get in the front line alongside Bwipo. So if the Samira is ahead, Excel are facing a very, very dangerous threat going into the mid to late game. They need to make sure Patrik can get on even terms, be as strong as him, trying to recruit some gold for him, but they realize bot's losing. Bwipo has no flash and ultimate, Dan's already here.
And now going in, follow-up CC should be there. Bwipo really hasn't even gotten a chance to push a single button yet. A little bit of a shield going to come through, going to buy him a bit more time, but the leap in, Bwipo walking out, the flash in, the auto, the W, not quite enough. Kryze going to be forced to move on out of that one, and now a fight into the bottom side of the map. Torre now drowsy, has to flash away, uses the Rammus icon as well. I like the confidence even after the rough laning phase. Selfmade potentially going to keep pushing through.
He probably is going to pop the Herald here because Kryze is hitting onto this top tower, trying to get it chunked down a little bit because the Herald does do true damage, but Czekolad moving down, does decide to pop it, and Torre's flash was really good, preemptive flash. Looked a bit int because he was out of range already, but he needs to make sure he's further away because otherwise Selfmade could have hit the combo with the movement speed he had. So good flash from Torre. They do lose the bot tower, but I think XL have found a win condition for themselves. Even though they're down 1,500 gold, yes, their bot lane is losing in the 2v2 and Upset's ahead, but Kryze on this Jax has a kill. He is around 30 CS up on the side of Bwipo. He is a level up as well, and we've seen Jax's. When Jax is ahead, 2 or 3 items, he's on the side lane. It's super hard to deal with, especially with Fnatic's comp, where I think only Hylissang on the Alistar has the point-and-click CC to be able to deal with it, to get some kind of engage on this Jax, because they're very slippery.
And here's the other thing, Caedrel. The other member of this team with a ton of money right now is Dan. He was the one who got that shutdown on the bottom side onto Upset. And if I can think of 2 champions who win ahead, can disrupt anything that Fnatic want to do, especially with a champion like Samira on their lineup, Jax and Hecarim are certainly on the short list. So if Excel can leverage some of the advantage that they've built here, they can stop this snowball from Fnatic.
Yeah, completely agree. It's not the end of the world for Excel. Lots of resources onto the side of Dan, Kryze, and Czekolad. The top side is very strong. The gold difference only is 1,000 now, and look at the item on Kryze. Picked up the Blade of the Rune King, so he should really hard win this lane if it's in isolation, and that's the thing with this Jax pick. He wins in isolation. So if Fnatic can unlock the game and play around these dragons and force Kryze to group up, then it becomes a lot harder for Excel to find their win condition and find their fights, because they don't want to run into this upset on Samira with Nisqy behind him, with Selfmade behind him, with Hylissang and Bwipo on the front line. So Excel needs to play this game as smart as they did on the first time around, but the item spikes are coming in.
Certainly do, and we'll see if Bwipo can start to recoup some of the gold loss that he has here. Last time we saw him play the Volibear, you mentioned it already, he was leaping into the back line, one-shotting Reckless. This time around, he's going to be on a little bit more of a budget. Maybe not going to have as much impact as he once did. Going to have to try to find smart engages or big flanks to limit what Excel can do. But now we see Dan ready to collapse on the top side to help keep Kryze isolated in this 1v1, to try to help him further push his advantage. Currently about 15 CS up over Bwipo, as well as the Blade of the Rune King.
And that's the thing. What can Dan do if he was bot side right now? He can't defend his bot lane, he can't contest the vision, they lose 3v3. Let's go top side. Not only can I keep this Jax in isolation, like you said, but I can also take away Selfmade's top lane camps. Dan, 1 level up. There might be a bit of contest on this red buff. It's going to be a smite fight. Dan does win it out, and Dan on these smite fights has been looking clean on the dragons, clean on the heralds, picking up all of these smites, making sure he secures those objectives. So you can see Fnatic want to snowball this game. Being bot side doesn't do anything. We can't hit the tier 2. I want more plates. Let's get Upset mid. Nisqy can just drop some farm. Doesn't matter. He's a support. Anyway, let's group it up. Dragons up in 3 minutes. Try and control bot side river and just stay away from Jax and just try to force fights.
Now going to try to take the red buff as well, see if they want to donate that one over to Selfmade, but it looks like Upset is now set to take it, as Bwipo's not trading very positively here in the top side. Canceled his own auto on the stun, it looks like, or I guess that was just the dodge coming through. Hylissang now looking for an engagement, taking a lot of damage back in response. Healing coming in. Keep in mind, Moonstone Renewer already finished for Nisqy, so pretty easy to heal up that damage.
Yeah, you can see that top matchup. Bwipo had to ult away. We didn't see it on the screen, but he actually had to use his ult to survive. I think Kryze might look for the kill here. He can use the E. Bwipo goes for the shield to preemptively think that Kryze might go for this play, but Kryze might go for it anyway. The shield's going to fall off. TP's coming in.
Good damage coming down, but he leaps out. Safety flash coming in for Bwipo. Dan on the way in, but the TP responded by Nisqy. Going to keep his top laner alive.
And Kryze gets away. This is the thing with the Jax. Very slippery. Does do a lot of damage on the burst, so Kryze almost takes down Bwipo there. And Kryze, we've been highlighting a lot in these last few weeks, is one of their shining lights for Excel. I think last year, let's wait till we see Dan engage onto Nisqy. He has the flash, does get fit. But like I was saying, Kryze, one of the standout players for me in Excel. You could see their stats from last year compared to this year when I played him on Summer 20, now 21 in Spring. He's popping off, man. He's having such good games, Camille games, things like this, Cho'Gath, GP, Renekton. He's got a bigger champion pool than he once did, and he's been playing a lot better. So he is, again, the key for Excel in this game. He needs to get the side lanes pushed out, and he needs to take advantage of this game, because I think Fnatic have a lot of magic damage, like we said. So if Kryze can build up some MR, then the only person who can deal with him is Upset. And if Upset's on the side lane, it means Excel can start to get these objectives.
And in the past, when we looked at Kryze, it was because he was playing things like Vladimir and the KO, because we had to look at him in the late game. And now we look at him because he is performing. He is stepping up even on these side lanes, scaling matchups, and see what he can do as he gets more and more items under his belt. Is Bwipo going to be a bit more comfortable in these trades? He's just mass spamming ability haste at this point just to get those cooldowns as low as possible, but this is not the powerhouse Volibear we saw last time Bwipo played.
Yeah, look at the adaptation from Fnatic. Okay, Bwipo's losing the 1v1. What do? We send 3 members into Kryze, almost treat it like a Shen, right? Instead of playing against the Shen, against the ulti, play into him, put your laners into the Shen, push him under the tower, and negate the amount of effect he can have. So denying Kryze a few waves there, Bwipo is going to be able to catch the bot waves because XL's bot lane is very weak, whereas Fnatic can try and use their strong members to negate the strong member of XL and try to just snowball the game like that. But they are going to back off in the end. Nisqy moving towards mid, and I think the quiet member of XL this whole game is going to be Czekolad. He's going to be the wave clear for XL that they need, while Patrik recovers and Kryze pushes advantages. Czekolad's going to be the rock to scale into the mid to late game, where if he gets a good ultimate, he can turn the entire fight.
Man, even just giving a Jax extra resistances and shields in a fight is a worthwhile cause. Most certainly, but we'll keep our eyes on Czekolad as he does now TP back to the mid lane.
Yeah, I wonder if that's because of the dragon spawning really soon. 30 seconds on the dragon. XL want to get this mid push. Now I would expect them to trade for something, because I think fighting the dragon might be hard, but look at the damage come out of the Kryze. He has fully stacked Conqueror, gets Bwipo to half HP in one combo, but XL moving to Spot River. Bwipo doesn't have TP for around 30 seconds to a minute, so XL could contest this dragon. 2 dragons on the side of Fnatic. Giving this third Infernal means you have to fight the fourth, so Bwipo's going to move down. Look at the minimap. He's shifting down, dropping top wave. Kryze is answering. This might be dangerous for XL, but if they can get a good fight, they can turn the whole game.
Level 11 Orianna, 2 points in Shockwave. She's going to pull Selfmade back. That's only a single target from the Shockwave. Definitely not ideal. Bwipo first on the rotation, but Kryze is right behind him. He has to be careful. Relatively squishy, all things considered at this point in the game. Hylissang waiting in the brush. That's the engage coming in from Dan. They've disrupted the fight, but now Hylissang manages to get the 2-man knockout. Kryze coming into the backside. Upset trying to work with what space he has, but he has to be careful about stepping forward. Looking for the S rank. He's going to get 1. Last auto now comes in. No chance to use the ultimate quite yet. It's available now. Style rank going to tick down, a close exchange. Dan taken out in exchange for Nisqy. Overall, sets up Fnatic okay for the Dragon if they want to take it, but it's still tense.
Mid for jungle. It's a good trade, I think, for the side of Fnatic, because they have their jungler up, they have the smite advantage, they have the river control from before. So Fnatic moving into this Dragon. XL, what tools do they have? They don't have any ultimates up. They only have Czekolad's flash, whereas Selfmade does have the flash. Bwipo has the ult. Hylissang has the flash. They can turn this fight whenever they want. Torres trying to interrupt Hylissang. He has no ultimate. They have to look for the engage because Fnatic are just taking damage from the Drake. They're getting poked out. They have to find an engage, or they're going to have to give this up.
So they're going to have to back off. Bwipo incredibly low. Hylissang going to move back in though. Czekolad instantly Upset's popping off. He's using the ultimate, but Kryze is going to start blocking the shots. He's going to turn. He's going to try to one-shot him. Bwipo leaps in, but he doesn't hit anybody. The storm now coming down. Dan in the midst of everyone. Selfmade trying to buy as much time as he can. Bwipo almost going to follow the flash forward. Patrik going to finish it off. The shutdown. Excel turning the fight in an instant. Fnatic were not ready for that one, but here comes Nisqy. Nisqy desperate to try to turn it. Upset just a few grades away. That's a B. He's looking for an A. He's looking for an S. He's looking for an ulti, but it doesn't look like he can find it quite yet. Excel backing off. Mana bar's low. HP bar's low. They know they cannot continue to extend this fight. Neither side will get the Infernal Drake.
This game is on a knife's edge, Drakos. The gold's pretty much even, and XL are finding good fights. They're playing the fights patiently, and they're waiting for Fnatic to overextend. Hylissang tries to get the engage. He gets taken down. Now it's a sprint back to the Dragon. Kryze has the TP, but Czekolad doesn't. I think XL are just going to be way too late to get back to this Dragon, but Selfmade also has to come out of the base. Look at them all just sprinting towards this Drake. They have vision on it, so they know if Fnatic have started up, and they haven't. So XL might be able to get there in time. Kryze has the TP too, but Fnatic starting this one up. I think Bwipo might have to TP into this fight. What ultimates are up, Drakos? We've got all the ultimates on the side of Fnatic, barring Bwipo, and XL have all their ultimates coming up very, very soon. So this might be another 5v5 straight from the bat. Upset, no sums, hasn't based either.
Tori in the pit. 2.4k getting
There's
lower
the TP.
Jax doesn't need to TP into the fight. There's Dan in the midst of everything. They do manage to get it, but Bwipo now to the back line immediately. The Kai'Sa's now in trouble. She tries to leap out to safety, but a 4-man shockwave into the cask. That's a wombo combo, but here comes Upset. Looking to turn the fight on its head. Kryze, he desperately wants to get something done, but it's all 4 members of Fnatic focusing down this Jackson again. Ultimate after ultimate. Upset makes his mark on the team fight.
Fnatic win the smite, they win the fight. Such a good turn from Fnatic. Kryze was trying to join the fight from the bot side, but Fnatic chose one direction. direction, and they went straight for that direction, running down Excel, getting the dragon. That's huge for the side of Fnatic. Teamfight composition, gold lead. They have the third dragon going towards the fourth in 4 minutes now. So Fnatic not taking their foot off the gas, making sure they keep fighting for these objectives. They don't want to drop the ball. They don't want to give Excel time to breathe by denying these Drakes. And just watch this fight again. Look at Kryze. He doesn't TP in, but he tries to run to the bot side. And because Dan goes for the 50-50, if he wins this, Excel can just run away. But the fact that he loses it means that Excel have to fight, and Dan has to use his ultimate defensively. And look at Kryze on the bot side of the map.
Watch the
he hasn't been able to join the shockwave into the knockback. Essentially a 4-man wombo combo. But because Kryze is late and Excel have no front line, it's so hard for Czekolad and Patrik. Look at them. They can't hit anything. And Kryze does join the fight. But in the end, Excel just get chased down, and because they think they have some sort of positioning to deal with this team fight, deal with the front line of Fnatic, it was just way too late in the fight.
2 ultimates coming out of Samira there, you can see. Still, the 4-man shockwave, so much damage from Czekolad. The downside, Torre is not an AP Gragas, he's level 8. There was not enough damage to finish a target. Dan was already down, as now we see Kryze. The engagement coming in from Bwipo, but does Bwipo want to try to go for the solo here? He has the Trinity Force. Big healing coming in, but he needs another W. He leaps out, Kryze now trying to leap to safety. TP on in, but no, Bwipo goes down. Looks like a bit of frustration there for Bwipo, trying to hard force the play. Kryze will walk away, and they have to give up the TP from Nisqy. Overall, a positive trade to Excel. Yeah,
all of Fnatic moved down, so Patrick's left alone on this top side. He should be able to catch the waves, and you have to question Bwipo's decision-making here. Did he think his team was closer, and did he think the TP would come in earlier? I mean, Kryze played that perfectly, jumping away from the ultimate of Bwipo and re-engaging it with Dan when he was there, and then running away. So, quick and easy kill for the side of Excel. Isn't enough to turn the game, because Fnatic will get this mid tower in the end, but Patrik slowly farming up. He had a bad early game, but now he's recovered. Same level as Upset, has 2 kills, has almost 2 items. As we see this again, you have to question what Bwipo does here. I think it's because he thinks he can get the stun that he'll win the trade. But I think Kryze, watch the damage coming out of Kryze here through the Bwipo shield. 1, 2, bang, half HP, and then watch the ultimate from Bwipo. Kryze instantly jumps out the way of it, and Dan comes in and finishes off the kill.
You have to wonder if Kryze could have finished that on his own, but of course, Volibear W does a ton of damage. So have to respect the potential for Volibear to turn a fight. Yeah, the healing as well.
So you have to ask, if Bwipo got that flash W off, would he have survived long enough for his team to save him? But in the end, Excel get a kill, they get a TP, and Patrik still up on this top lane, farming up, isolated on the top side of the map, trying to funnel resources into him, because Excel, although this Jax is the win condition on side lane, Orianna and Kai'Sa scale into the late game so well with a Hecarim front line compared to this Fnatic comp who are all relying on Upset.
Yeah, and we look across the board on the Fnatic side, you see Upset, 4, 1, and 5, huge performance from this man. Obviously trying to make a name for himself here on Fnatic. It was an incredibly rough year on Origin. Ever since that Sjokz second place, it feels like Upset has never been able to climb back to those same heights, but now maybe this year it will be a different story.
So you see Dan hovering behind Kryze here. Hylissang smells something. He puts some wards down for Bwipo, and Bwipo smart enough to just go for the Grom. Doesn't want to fall into the trap that Excel have set up, but look at Czekolad on the top side. He's going to pick up the top tier 1. He's been quietly farming up, and although Nisqy's been dropping a lot of gold and not XP, so you can see he might be the same level as Czekolad, but it's actually down 50 CS compared to Czekolad, so this Orianna is scaling up quite quickly, and you can see Excel have 2 pushing side lanes, so Fnatic are running around the map trying to deal with it, trying to get some vision, trying to get Upset and Hylissang from mid lane to unlock their side laners, because they're both struggling, and Excel are scaling quite strong here.
And on the one hand, Fnatic certainly played that last team fight pretty well, but getting hit 4 members by a shockwave is not a mistake you can afford to make against a level 14 Orianna.
Czekolad might be caught out here. I think Hylissang just wants to try and find him under the tower. Selfmade can cancel him. He's definitely dead. Look at Hylissang on the back.
Leap coming in.
Kryze has
Czekolad
TP,
in trouble. This should just be it. Czekolad gonna back off. Shockwave comes in, but not nearly enough. That's the shutdown.
700 gold shutdown, but the story remains from the first game early in the day. Patrik pushing in mid, Kryze pushing in bot. Yes, Fnatic pick up a shutdown, but what can Excel get in return? 30 seconds on this Dragon, Drakos. Czekolad used the ult, Selfmade used the ult. So 2 ultimates down for this Dragon in 30 seconds. It's Infernal Soul for the side of Fnatic. Excel have control, they have the mid push, and they have the TP on Czekolad. So this team fight is going to decide the game.
If they get this Infernal Soul, there's just about no way for Excel, but Excel just need to get this Dragon.
Selfmade might get caught here. Torre gets the knockback.
He has the Zhonya's, he can buy a bit more time, but the charm is sidestepped by Patrik. Selfmade now set to fall, but the perfect flash ferries him out to safety. Meanwhile, on the backside, Upset, he's looking for the S rank, and he gets it. He's going to start cutting through the entire Excel lineup. A single fumble from Excel turns this fight in the favor of Fnatic. Upset back. Kryze flashing over the wall, but here comes the Volibear. Here comes the vengeance for Bwipo. Fnatic are set to take Infernal Soul.
Yeah, Czekolad TPing into the top side. What can he get? He's only going to get a top wave. Fnatic get the Infernal Soul, and you have to ask, are they going to turn towards the Baron here as well? Czekolad and Patrik are They're looking for some kind of pick. They're going to hide in the bushes to try and catch out Fnatic because they think if they run towards this Baron, they can start it up. So look at Patrik and Czekolad. They have to find some kind of engage. Czekolad has the ultimate. Patrik has the ult as well to follow. So who's going to face check the bush? Are they going to be able to pick anyone off before this Baron starts?
Hylissang on the flank.
On the side. Don't know where they are.
Spots them. This is done. They can try to one-shot him, but he can just ult. Nope, no ult available, means they do take him down. Maybe they can get in the pit.
Fnatic have to stop the Baron. All of Excel are on the way. They have to turn on Czekolad, who has no flash. Good shockwave, though.
Czekolad gonna flash for safety, straying alive for now. Selfmade does so much damage, but maybe they can finish him off. Shut down for Patrik. That's the jungler gone. Excel! It's still the Infernal Soul, but they're holding on to hope for now.
That's 2 kills. Jungler 40 seconds now. Excel, you're against the clock. They have Infernal Soul. You have to get this Baron. You can see them starting it up. Upset staying around. Nisqy and Bwipo have TP if they want to base. Bwipo's basing, has the TP up as well. So this is going to be a 3v4. Czekolad's on the way. It will be a 3v5, but can Fnatic pull the trigger? Can Upset get an S rank and jump in the backline? As Tori goes in.
Upset in trouble. He blocks as many projectiles as he can, but that's the damage gone. Kryze into the middle. Kryze with a massive stun. Bwipo just getting absolutely shredded.
He gets stunned.
Upset the ultimate coming in. Upset the shutdown. Tori Upset, are you kidding me? Double kill coming through. Bwipo grabbing one, and Fnatic again finding a fight.
Upset cleans house with the S rank. He gets interrupted, but that does not stop him from picking up 3 members of Excel. So now, Excel, can Fnatic start the Baron again? You have to question. 30 seconds on Excel. Nisqy has the TP. Czekolad, no flash. They're going to flash on him as well.
Moving in, headbutt, pulverized. Czekolad, oh, just devoured by Fnatic.
This Samira is way too strong for Excel to be able to fight the Infernal Soul. 8 kills, 700 gold shutdown onto Upset, and now Fnatic are going to get the Baron. Look at the gold difference between the AD carries. 3,000 gold lead for Upset alone, and there's only a 3,500 gold lead for Fnatic themselves. So Upset definitely stepping up, proving a point from the laning phase with Hylissang.
Ooh, and we can look back at this one, and I gotta say, really clever from Excel. Definitely playing with fire, but seeing an opportunity and taking it.
Yeah, definitely picking up Hylissang was super important because you can see Tor and Dan on your minimap running on the way, and this flash from Czekolad after the Drowsy gets the ultimate to slow down the engage and just about flashes the combo from Selfmade, and then Patrik picks up Selfmade. TP's come in, and you question here, well, now Excel have the advantage. Can they start up the Baron? Fnatic back off, but it's a different tale when they start the Baron, Drakos.
And of course, they're very split at this point, and Upset is always the man that you need to keep your eyes on in this Fnatic composition. He has the damage.
Look how much time Bwipo buys with the flash stun. 4 members of Excel turn onto him, and Upset QSS the stun. He pulls out the S rank. Yes, he gets interrupted, but it's a 2v1. Upset versus Patrik and Tor. He wins the 2v1, he cleans up, he gets Kryze, and then Fnatic get the Baron off the back of this play, and Czekolad dies later on, and now Fnatic, 4,500 gold lead. They have the Baron. Super XP lead for the jungle, for the mid lane, all of these things, and super huge gold lead for the carries especially.
I mean, it's Baron and Soul. And let's look at how this happened. This is all-out aggression from Hylissang in the early game, backed up by Upset, absolutely dominating the bot lane matchup. And yes, Excel punished them. Yes, Excel found small advantages for Kryze in the top lane that they wanted to snowball into more. But Kryze hasn't been able to use these advantages in these team fights. Fnatic just keep forcing and forcing and forcing, and they have made good on their early game advantages because Upset looks unstoppable.
Yeah, this gold lead's going to grow for Fnatic. Tier 2s, Tier 1s, spawning so much gold on the map for them to pick up with these Baron minion waves. And Patrik pushing out bot, trying to buy time on that bot wave, trying to stop Fnatic from being able to play on 3 lanes. Now they can only play on 2. Tier 1 top down, Tier 2 top down. The only thing left for them is mid Tier 2 or this top Tier 3 where Hylissang might look for a dive.
Hylissang ready to go in.
Cass comes out.
Knockbacks there, but Hylissang has an ultimate damage to the backside, but he's just going to get just about one shot. Upset doesn't even have the S rank quite yet. Bwipo leaps in to disable the tower. That's the charm going through the entire team. Upset now ready to go. Keep your eyes. That's the A rank waiting on the S, but Upset instead setting his sights on the objective, setting his sights on that inhibitor. Fnatic barreling into the base. Patrik already dead. Fnatic maybe could just end it here.
Can Fnatic go for more? This Samira Upset has so much support behind him. He can essentially play frontline with the amount of shields and heals he's getting from Nisqy, and Selfmade staying around to buy time. He could look for a flash Q to get the ultimate, but Fnatic aren't done here. Drakos, they might look for more. Bwipo doesn't have the ult to disable the towers, but Excel don't have too much wave clear. Czekolad's low on mana. He might have to regen.
Fnatic Selfmade goes in. That's a 3-man sleep. They don't even need the follow-up. They don't even need anything. Upset just walking into the base. Fnatic just barreling down. Fnatic are not here to mess around. It's 28 minutes, and Fnatic are ready to end the game. Kryze leaps in. That's the double stun. Czekolad, no way to follow up. He needs that shockwave. He needs Patrik alive. But Excel will hold on for now.
Patrik just respawned, and Fnatic are out of gas. Drakos are out of petrol. They need to go back to base, wait for the ultimate cooldown, spend their gold, take away this jungle from the side of Excel. But the game was almost over there with that sleep who just bought way too much time. And you can see the dive coming in again. You think, well, this is a dive, but it's not a dive because Volibear can disable the tower. So as soon as this cast comes in and then the Orianna ball is looking for an ultimate, yes, Dan tries to engage, but the thing is Fnatic can re-engage. So now Excel don't have an engage. Bwipo jumps in, Hylissang jumps in too, and this is what we expect from the draft. Upsets hitting from the backline next to Nisqy, and these 2 big body blockers are in the way.
Fnatic, oh god, they're just the juggernaut. They just can't be stopped in these plays. And if you're Excel, you're hoping you have the combo. You have Dan's ultimate, you have Czekolad's ultimate, you have Torre's ultimate, maybe to buy yourself space or to kick these fights off. But one more mistake and this game is just over.
Well, 40 seconds on the Elder. Excel have control. There is a world where Excel can win a fight on a face check and get the Elder, and then the game turns on its head. But Fnatic, Infernal Soul, this Kai'Sa's legendary, essentially 4 items. Samira level 15, so far ahead of Patrik, who only has 3 items. So Fnatic TPing in, trying to contest this mid wave. Czekolad has the flash if there's an engage, but Excel need to play with the vision and try and find some sort of engage. Upset has flash coming up soon. Nisqy has flash too, but can they find a pick?
But Fnatic don't need a face check. They can just march down mid with the creep wave, but it's only 1 creep right now. They have to be careful.
Yeah. Fnatic playing smart. They're pushing in mid, so that when Excel goes slightly towards their red entrance to try and defend it, they run into the river. So now Fnatic with the control, with the Infernal Soul. If Fnatic get this Hill Elder Dragon, the game is essentially over. There's a top wave pushing in. Bwipo has TP, but so does Kryze, so he can match that. Now Fnatic want to play it slow. They want to be patient. There's only 1 Nexus Tower alive, so those minions are going to do so much damage. Czekolad goes to base. He has the teleport in case a fight breaks out. Fnatic set up. Hylissang's looking for some kind of engage. There's like a ball right now, Drakos. There's 4-man stack. Hylissang fails the engage, and Kryze is on the side.
Space, just a headbutt pulverize, just going to one-shot Torre before the fight even starts. The TP now coming in. He's managed to clear the wave. Tower incredibly low in the mid lane. Next wave comes in. It could just be the end. Bwipo trying to tank up as much as he can. Elder Dragon resets. Definitely not ideal for the side of Fnatic. Selfmade running forward, though. They're just trying to bait Excel into the fight. They're not even that worried about the objective. They know if they find the kills here, they can just end. 3K getting lower.
Steal this.
Dan, he has to throw his ult out. That's the shockwave. Upset potentially in trouble, but no. He blocks all the shots. Upset still alive. Patrik finishing the job, but it's too little. It's too late. Yes, he gets the kill, but at what cost? Fnatic now poised to end the game as Selfmade just runs at Czekolad at the speed of light. Maybe he can get out. Maybe they can hold the base, but this is a difficult hold for the side of Excel.
Yeah, Torre just respawned. Kryze and Czekolad can get back to base, but this Elder Dragon, once it goes down, that might be the nail in the coffin for the side of Excel. I think Elder Dragon on the side of Fnatic is going to be huge. The only problem is that Upset won't get this buff, which is the biggest damage for Fnatic. But regardless, that's a 4-member Elder Dragon, and the Baron is spawning so soon.
Even more gold into their pocket. This gold leads 7K in their favor. They still have Infernal on top of that.
And look at that Nexus Tower, Drakos. Almost died. It was about a 20% HP by looks of the minimap. It's regenning now, but the minions were doing so much work. So good base by Czekolad to clear out the wave. Decided to TP in, but Torre was the one who got caught from Hylissang. But I think Excel just 6,000-7,000 gold down. Infernal Soul, Elder Dragon now, Baron spawning. You can see Excel trying to push out as many waves as they can to see as much as they can on the map with vision, but I'm not sure how they're going to be able to contest this Baron start from Fnatic, as 3 members are on the bot side.
We'll take a deep breath here for a moment, as it is a tense game, and it feels all but set in the favor of Fnatic. But maybe there's a miracle, maybe there's a way. With Baron going down, it looks like uncontested. It feels like Excel know that their final fight will be in their base and not out here on the Rift.
Excel trying to push in the side waves. Hylissang has the Elder Dragon. He might solo kill Patrik here.
Running in. Good damage, forcing the ultimate out already.
Yeah, Hylissang didn't have the Ignite. He was looking for the stun. I think if he hit the Ignite, maybe there's a world where he could kill Patrik, but Patrik has the cleanse, use the ult, and Excel trade the Elder Dragon and the Baron for bot tier 2, which they couldn't really do much about. So look at the XP on the map. You can see Selfmade so far ahead, Bwipo so far ahead, Upset.
Highest level in the game.
That's correct.
Upset is 8-2-12.
Wait, Selfmade has a Guardian Angel?
Selfmade is the highest level in the game.
He has a Guardian Angel?
Yeah, I think it's because Samira can't build it, so I low-key think he's he's memeing, but maybe it is actually just insane at this point. They can't one-shot him, and he just does so much damage. That's the charm, but no one is there to extend the range.
Okay, I like it, Selfmade, sure.
He's just got a lot of armor, dude.
Okay. Yep.
There is a lot of AD on the enemy team, to be fair. It's triple AD threat.
I mean, he is a support as well for the side of Upset, even though he's the highest level in the game. So Banshee, Zhonya's, GA, he's buying a lot of time, Drakos.
He most certainly is. They try to one-shot him in his fights, it's not going to work out for them, especially when the Drowsy comes off cooldown, although it is pretty far away, as is Nisqy's ultimate. That said, still a lot of members buffed up by this Elder Dragon.
Excel backs against the wall here. They have to try and find some engage. Bwipo.
Flash in from Selfmade, just to get things kicked off. The shockwave goes wide, and that should just about do it. Dan tries to get the fight started, but Upset still doing fine on the back side. The GA comes in, it's going to keep him alive. Upset still living, and that's going to end it for Fnatic. There's a little bit of hope left for Excel there in the final moment, but when the shockwave whiffs, that is it. Fnatic coming out on top.
33 minutes in, game 2. Fnatic just clean play overall. Bot lane absolutely smurfing from the side of Fnatic, carrying the game essentially for them, and lots of supportive tools around them. Selfmade, Nisqy, and Bwipo doing their jobs around Upset. And huge win for Fnatic, I think.
And it has to feel good, right? And of course it has to feel twice as bad for Excel as much as it feels twice as good for Fnatic. But after playing that first game, forced to remake, hours later, still being able to come out on top, even more dominant than the first game that we saw, is a good look for Fnatic. And while Bwipo struggled on the top side of the map, it was absolute dominance. From
carnage.
Literally from level 1 in that bot lane. 1 second off being the actual earliest first blood in LEC. Totally crazy.
It was nutty.
Key player of the game, though, at LEC on Twitter, Selfmade, Upset, or Hylissang. You guys can choose.
Selfmade had a GA. He was a bit quiet this game, but he was farming up a Storm, highest XP, but Upset and Hylissang, man. Hilly with the engages, Upset with the pop-off in fights. Pick your poison.
It was a good look. But don't go anywhere, because in a few minutes, me and Caedrel are going to look back at the day in the LEC post-game lobby. You want more? You get more.
We're running this ship. We're going to do it.
Systems are overloading. We can't risk another game.
We need to take a break and regroup.
We're starting to lose our mind. Captain, we cannot go back to Elo hell. Last time it took us months to get out of it.
Initiate break protocol.
Hurry up!
Yes! Yes! I did it! We did it! We did it!
Even the biggest champ needs a